Okay, here we go. We're on Algebra Builder 34. Okay. Did we do wrong? Okay. Okay, so let's look. We are, guys, I still have people getting confused on this. If I gave you a bowl of Snickers and a bowl of Snickers and, let's say, M&Ms or Skittles, and I told you to separate them, would you have any trouble separating them? No. You would know, put Snickers in this basket, Skittles in that basket, right? Well, that's the same thing you're doing right here. If it's got a different letter, you can't put it together. So all you have to do is go down. See, there's no parenthesis this time. So what you're doing is going, and it says collecting. You're collecting like things and putting them together. So I'm going to alphabetically, D comes first. So I'm going to underline my D's first. So what's 3 minus 7? Oh, and another thing, you have to look at the sign in front. So that's going to be what? Negative 4D. And then look what I'm going to do. I'm like to do little smiley faces on the V's with the sign in front. So what's negative 2 plus 5? 3. Plus 3V. We're done. We can't put D's and V's together. You cannot put D's and V's together. Okay. Now on this one, there's no parenthesis, is there? So we don't have a parenthesis to get rid of. All we're ready to combine like terms. I see M's in there. I'm going to put my M's first. What's negative 3 minus 3? Negative 6M. We all should know negative 3 and negative 3 make negative 6. Come on now. Combine like terms. And then we're going to go negative 2 plus 4. Plus 2. Awesome. Now the next one, the negative sign is outside the parentheses. Guys, this is super duper easy. All you're doing is changing the signs in there. That's all that means. That negative outside says change the signs inside. So that's going to be negative 4C squared minus 4. That's all you're doing, changing the signs. Fix it, change it, check it, whatever. Now, on this one, there's a negative. So I already know that the signs are going to be different inside the parentheses. All the signs will be the opposite. But this time I've got to multiply 6 by all of those. So I forgot. Well, I'm going to multiply negative 6 by that, negative 6 by that, negative 6 by that. But I already know what signs to use, don't I? I already know the signs. I just got to multiply 6 by everything. The 1 is the coefficient there. So what's 6 times 1? So 6x squared plus 18x plus 24. Oh, wait. Why did I do that? Plus 24. Okay, there we go. So I already knew to change all the signs. That's going to be positive. That's going to be positive. That's going to be positive. There we go. And you know what we just made? A trinomial. 3 terms. 1, 2, 3. Okay, skip the second row. Look at the slope. Okay, I'm going to use these 2 points. So I'm going to circle the 7 and the 2. I'm going to start with 7. If you did something different, that's fine. You're going to get the same thing I'm going to get. I'm going to go 7 minus 2, 0 minus 1. What's 7 minus 2? 5 over negative 1 is negative 5. So my slope is negative 5. Look at the table and tell me something you see on the table that's important. Why is the y-intercept 7? 0, 7. Everybody circle that over there and put B equals. So when I write my equation, it's going to be y. Okay, I want everybody saying this with me. We're going to all say the equation. the linear equation, y equal mx plus b form. We know the slope. God bless you. We know the y-intercept. So together, y equals negative 5x plus 7. Awesome. So we're going to go graph it. 0, 7, my y-intercept, 1, 2, 2, negative 3. Guys, remember, don't make your points very big. Make them teeny tiny. Well, at least you can get them. What's the slope?
-5.
I know. What's the slope? Positive, negative? It's negative because it's negative 5. Guys, y'all are trying to make this way too hard sometimes. Just look at the slope. If it's positive, it's positive. If it's negative, it's negative slope. Okay, what's the y-intercept? 0, 7. Now, your rise might be different from my rise. My rise was 5 and my run was negative 1. Yours may have been negative 5 over 1. But you're still going to get negative 5. Okay, are these proportional? Are these proportional?
Yes.
Okay, so let's circle the 4 and the 2. You may have done something different. I'm going to circle the 4 and the 2 and then put rectangles around 6 and 3. Did it get larger or smaller? If this is my pre-image, it got smaller. So I know the scale factor is going to be less than, oh no, not if it gets smaller. Okay, we'll work on that in a minute. Okay, let's do one thing at a time. What are you going to write right here?
6/4.
Oh, I love it. My pen didn't have to shake while I was writing something that I wouldn't have done. 6/4 equals 3/2. 12 equals 12. Yes, they're proportional. Now let's work on scale factor. What's the scale factor? Get it. Find it. Figure it out. Go. Where did Willie and David and who said it over here? What? Where'd they get 1/2 from? Trent?
Because if you slim that down,
Mm-hmm.
that's 3 times 6.
There you go. That's what I wanted to hear. Yay, Trent. 3 is half of 6. Do you know? I think there's some 8th graders that don't know 3 is half of 6. Mm-hmm. And they don't know 2 is half of 4. Now, why don't they know that? They just don't. They don't want to know it. If you don't, if you don't know 3 is half of 6 or 2 is half of 4, you're just not even thinking. I mean, that's kind of like a no-brainer. But what did we do when we found the scale factor earlier? We divided what? New by old. New by old. That equals 1/2. We knew the scale factor had to be less than 1. Guys, if the scale factor is 1, it's going to be the exact same size. If it's less than 1, it's going to get smaller. If it's greater than 1, it's going to get bigger. Because, hey, if the scale factor is 1.5, is it going to get bigger? 1.5 times bigger. What's the scale factor is 2? How many times bigger is it going to be? 2 times bigger. Okay, so we get that? I hope. All right, volume. Now this looks like a rectangular prism to us. Okay, so we're gonna say it's a rectangular prism. So the volume is what? Area of the base times the height. What's the total surface area? Perimeter of the base times the height plus 2 times area of the base. Awesome. You sound like 9th graders and not 3rd graders. So cool. Now that's if it's a prism. Okay? Which you can use that for a cube too. But remember when we were talking about cubes, we made some special ones up because, we got some math common sense. Don't we? We got some math common sense here. If we're doing the volume of a cube, we can use that formula, but there's something else we can do that makes it way easier.
6 times 5.
No. Volume. I'm filling up. I'm filling up. I'm finding out how many cubic inches or feet or centimeters are in there. Come on. Think about it. Okay, well, let's go back to this. What is the base over here on this rectangular prism? What's the base? What is that? It's a rectangle. It's a rectangle. Right? If it's a rectangular prism, the base is a rectangle, people. Okay? All right? I mean, it could be a square, but how do you get area of a rectangle? Nobody knows how to get area of a rectangle? Oh, dear. Or length times width. Oh, no. Oh, no wonder we can't do the other. Times height. So, length times width times height gives you the volume of a rectangular prism. Okay, I think we need to go back to that. I'm going to work on something else today, but guys, on a rectangular prism, let's use this. Guys, on a rectangular prism, if you get the area of the base, remember, you're finding out, I'm showing them a rectangular prism. You're trying to find out how many, let's say, cubic inches fit in there. Well, what's on the side of this? What is that? Square inch. That's a square inch, right? On the side. So if I find out how many squares fit on the bottom, then that tells how many cubic inches are gonna fit on the bottom layer. Correct? So let's say this is 12 by 5. Let's use easy numbers. 12 by 5. That would mean that 60 square inches cover the bottom. Well, that means 60 square inches are going to cover the bottom. So 60 cubic inches cover the bottom layer. So if it's 3 inches high, you've got 60, 60, 60. Times 3 is 180. So you've got to multiply the length times the width to find out the area of the base, which tells how many square inches, if you're doing inches, square inches cover the base, which tells how many cubic inches cover the first layer, and then you find the height of it, and you know how many total cubic inches fit in there. So it's length times width times height on a rectangular prism. Okay? So, on a cube, do we need to do length times width times height? Or are they all the same on a cube? Yes, so what would we do? Side times side times side. Guys, on a cube, the length, the width, the height are the same. So we take the side and we cube it. Okay? I mean, because if it's, let's say it's 4. 4 times 4 times 4 is the same as saying 4 cubed. Okay? Now, surface area. How many squares cover this? We're covering it. There's 6 squares. So if you're doing the total surface area, which is what we were doing, then there's 6 squares. And how do you get the area of one square? Side times side. Okay, Pythagorean theorem, let's see. Let's see. 5, the 3, 4, 5 rule. 3, 4, 5 rule. Mirror view. Missing length of a right triangle. Who can spell it without looking? Couple people? Okay. A transformation that shrinks or stretches. Dilation, not dilation. Good. A change in position or size. Transformation. That includes all of them. Okay. Put this in your practice. Thank you. God bless you. Bring back that. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so let's look at this right there. What do you know about this triangle? All three of these angles equal 180, correct? Okay, so what do you know about these two angles? They equal 180. So quickly figure out what goes here. 60. Thank you, people that already knew that. Because that's automatically what you did. You went subtracted 180 minus 120. Some already knew because we worked on that a little bit. So that's 60. So let's think a minute. Let's use some common sense. Who has common sense, do you think? Oh, more than one person has common sense. Guys, if this is 60, because these two equal 180, then what do these two have to equal? What do these two angles have to equal? No, all three of them equal 180. So these two have to equal 120. Good, Trenton Willie. Listen, because if these 120 plus 60 is 180, then 60 plus these two have to equal 180. Well, those two have to equal 120. Correct? So we're just going to go 120 minus 89. That's all you have to do and get what? 31. Awesome. That was easy. Okay? Guys, you can't really tell what some of these letters are. It doesn't matter. If this is 63, that's all you need. Go fill out the rest of them. Put all the other angle measures for me. I'm sorry, guys, but this is crazy. Oh, I think I figured it out, if I can remember what I did. Okay. Okay, so what is Z?
Z is
117, and this is a V right here. What is V?
117.
Why?
It's of course
No.
sorry.
These two are what? Vertical. They make a V. They're vertical angles, okay? So if that's 117, Y is 63. Why are these two, if that's 117, that's 63, they're what? Supplementary. Guys, first period, somebody kept saying corresponding for everything I am. Corresponding is not going to be the answer to everything I say today, ask today. These two are supplementary. They add up to 180. Right? So if that's 63, you know W is 63 because what are these two angles? Alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles. And so then you know V and U are all, both 117. Why? No. Corresponding angles. They're corresponding. I said that wasn't every answer, but it can be an answer. These are corresponding. They're at the same side of the intersection. Okay? And these two are what? Alternate exterior. So if that's 63, X is 63, it's what? Alternate exterior. Why is this 117? What? It's vertical to U. Good. It's 117. Or it corresponds to Z, doesn't it? Or it's alternate interior to V. There's all kinds of reasons. Okay, now, look at this one right here. What do you know about those two angles that they gave the...
They're vertical.
They're vertical. How do you know that?
Because they make a V.
They make a V and it tells you they're vertical. Look at that. Well, that's the first thing I did was read that. I know y'all don't. That's the problem. So we're going to go 5x equals 2x plus 18. They're equal. Well, hey, if we set that equation up, what do we know? You're going to solve, aren't you? So we're going to circle our x's, draw my river. Go solve for x. Yes, I did. Thank you. Okay, what'd you get? Okay, but were you done?
Yes.
No, you were not.
The angle.
So, who found out the angle measures? Yay! 4 people, 3 people. Oh, goodness. And find the measurements of the 2 angles. Ruh-roh. So 5x, 5 times 6 is 30. What do we know? If that's 30, what's this? 30. Okay. Up here, I got to change some numbers to make it a little easier. Okay, you're going to change this to 75.5. Change this angle to 75.5. And change this to 42 down here. Instead of 12, make it a 42. Okay, now, here's what we're going to do. It says, given this measure is 75.5, find the measurements of all the other angles. What do we know about all 3 of these angles? They equal 180. So, guys, look down here. We know all 3 of these equal 180, but what we can't do something. Why can't we solve this for 180? Yes, you have y's and you have an x. You can't solve for x or y. So we're going to do this one first and find x, and then we'll be good to go. So we're going to find x. So put a 1 right there, and you have to write small. So we're going to add all 3 of these angles up. We're going to get x plus, tell me, 2x minus 23 plus 75.5 equals 180. Does everybody see where we got all that? We just added all of them together. Now let's combine like terms. What's x plus 2x? This is one reason we're learning to do that other. And then negative 23 plus 75.5. $52.5. Okay, so now we're going to circle the x, draw the river. We're going to subtract 52.5. Somehow that's not coming out either. 20. So you're going to get what? Oh dear. Okay. So we know x is 42.5. So we've got that one. 42.5. And you know what? We don't have much time because I want to do something else. And that's not going to... We've done one problem, so y'all see what you have to do. So you'd have to set that up, find out what that is. Well, what is that angle going to be? 2 times 42.5. Come on, everybody. Minus 23. So 2 times 42.5 minus 23 gives you what? 62. So if you know that's 62, then you know that's going to be 62, right? Okay. Yeah, vertical angles. And then you would just add 62 plus that plus that. Okay? All right, turn it over on the back. This is what I want you to get to. I want you to work on these 2 and try to figure them out. You're going to work on these 2 and try to figure them out. I would start with the one on the right. It's easier. Believe it or not. And then you're going to have to do some thinking on this other one. You're going to have to do some thinking on this other one. Okay. So you're going to work on that. And then you're going to work in your pre-algebra builder. 50. Start at 50. Put this in practice when you're done.